All right, back with more vintage UFO reports. This is from an article. I thought this was sounded pretty interesting. Um, it's about the history of sightings in from New Zealand of cigar-shaped and cylindrical, like cylinder-shaped UFOs from 1952 to 2014. So, let's see. It says here that New Zealand has had a significant number of sightings of both cigar shaped and more recently cylinder shaped UFOs, or UAP is a more modern term for UFOs. I just call them UFOs. Notably, several of these reports were made by pilots or airport employees. Up until 1978, at least, most of these reports described highly reflective silver cigar shaped objects with windows. Wow. However, more recent reports have described white windowless cylindrical objects with blunt ends rather like pipes or cardboard tubes and with neon light strips. So the 1952 sighting, let's see what this is all about. A silver cylindrical object with windows. So on a cloudless summer evening, two witnesses were driving along a main road on the edge of the Waitemata Harbor, Auckland City, North Island. It was around 8 p.m. just on sunset. In the first few seconds of the sighting, the passenger on the seaward side of the car assumed she was observing an amphibious aircraft as the object was so close to the water. That impression, though, soon changed when she observed more details of the strange object without wings or tail. So it didn't have any wings or like a tail. And she shouted to the driver to pull the car over to the side of the road and watch. They both witnessed the object's sudden vertical takeoff and eventual disappearance, all without any sound. The witnesses decided to return to the city and report the incident to the New Zealand Herald newspaper. They discovered the staff treated the report as a joke. However, one staff member told them that theirs was the 8th report of a UFO to the Herald that evening. Wow. A small article about the sightings appeared in the Herald the next day. The sighting lasted about 15 seconds as the witnesses watched the object cross Auckland's, how do you pronounce that? Waitemata Harbor? From north to southeast. Fast moving, silent, and close to the water, without change to the object's horizontal altitude. Fast moving, silent, and close to the water. The UFO suddenly shot up vertically in a precise 90-degree direction change and was lost from view in seconds. Well, we can definitely rule out a plane. The object was a highly reflective cigar shape, tapered at the rear end, with a slight bulge on the upper nose, but no forward-facing windows. So like no windows like at the front of the craft, like where like a like a piloted plane would have. Keep in mind this is 1952. This isn't like a drone or some weird thing like that. Around 7 distinctive windows were spaced along the length of the object, emitting dazzling multicolored light, mainly yellow, red, and blue. What the heck? The windows appeared to be square with rounded corners, similar in shape to early TV screens. A bluish colored vapor cloud extended at the rear of the object. There's actually a drawing of this object too. Pretty cool looking drawing of this thing. So a bluish colored vapor cloud extended at the rear of the object, approximately a third of the length of the UFO. A third of the length. And blasted out of the tapered tail with some force. The tapered tail had no visible end, as it was obscured by the vapor emission. So that was the 1952 report. Apparently, it's a mass sighting. It looked like how many people saw this? Let's see. The eight, at least 8. Okay. Well, the 8th report. So, I mean, it was more than 8 people because there were a couple people that saw this. Like, at least 2. There were 2, right? Yeah, so at least 9? Probably more. Really interesting. So that's 1952. And we have maybe I'll do this in parts. So this will be part 1. Let me see. Yeah, we'll do one more though. We'll do the 1965 Unidentified Submerged Object. So a USO, not a UFO, spotted by a DC-3 pilot. So on January 12th of 1965, a DC-3 transport plane took off from Winuapal Airport, Auckland, on a routine daytime flight north of the township of Kaitaia, as the twin-engine propeller plane flew over the Kaipara harbor. A broad estuary 100 kilometers or 60 miles northwest of Auckland. The pilot, Captain Bruce Cathy, spotted an unusual gleam in the water below. He was about 1/3 of the way across the Kaipara harbor, and he at first believed the object to be a stranded gray-white whale in an estuary. As he veered his DC-3 for a closer look at the object, it became evident to him that he was observing a metallic structure of some sort. Oh. Captain Cathy noted that the object was perfectly streamlined and symmetrical in shape. It had no visible external control surfaces or protrusions, and appeared metallic with a suggestion of a cap, hatch, or dome on top. There's kind of like a dome, some sort on top of it. What the heck? Um, the object was resting on the bottom of the estuary at a depth of more than 30 feet of water. It was not shaped like a normal submarine, but was approximately 100 feet in length, with an approximate diameter of 15 feet at its widest part. After he filed his flight report, which mentioned the sighting of the object, the Royal New Zealand Navy told Captain Cathy that it would have been impossible for any known model of submarine to have been in that particular area due to the configuration of harbor and coastline. So, the late Captain Bruce Cathy became a prominent figure in early New Zealand UFO research. He published several books on his theory of a global harmonic grid system, which he believed was utilized by UFOs traveling within our atmosphere. Um, so I'm going to end part one here. We're going to do more, put maybe 2 or 3 parts to this. So that was from 1965. So unidentified submerged objects was spotted by Captain Bruce Cathy. And then the 1952 cylindrical object with windows that was in the air. That one to me is a little more interesting, but they're both pretty interesting since they're both unidentified. Did it say how big the 1952 UFO was, or that they thought it might be? But that one's really strange, but a very good one. And then the next ones will be from 1971, 77, 78, and then 2014. So I'll be back to do the rest in the other parts. Yeah, let me know what you think about all of these. These are really, really fascinating. These cigar-shaped or cylinder-shaped UFO craft. And let me know, like your thoughts and comments below about these particular incidents, like what you might think they are. Do you think they're alien craft, like both of them? I think the first one is, I mean, for me personally, I think that's definitely an alien craft, the first one. The second one, who knows what that could have been either. Like, that's weird, since there weren't supposed to be, like, any submarines out there. That's weird. So the second one is just about as strange as the first one, I think. So yeah, this is part one, and thank you for watching. I'll definitely be back with part two here soon.